You need the big why, but I think more than big why, it has to be an emotional why.
Would you say you need a why? You need a big why? Like Simon Sinek, right? Talks about the big why.
You need the big why, but I think more than big why, it has to be an emotional why.
Hmm.
You know, you have to get under the, well, why do you want that? I want to help people. That's a great why. But why do you want to help people? Because it makes me feel good.
Hmm.
Ooh, why do you want to feel good? So the more you go down into that why, the deeper, I would say deep emotional, not just the big why, but to me, it's more that emotional why, which usually takes 3 or 4 or 5 levels of, yeah, but why do you want that? But
Hmm.
why do you want that? I want to be successful in my life because it gives me freedom. It gives me freedom to travel. It gives me freedom to help my kids. It gives me freedom to continue to educate. It gives me freedom to, set up the day how I want to set it up, things like that. So I have a lot of emotional whys. I remember asking my dad and talking to him about that when I was younger. And he said, all it does, Rich, is give you options. We all want options. Do you want to go here or do you want to go there? That's all success really does is give you options. And I wanted those options. I didn't want to be put in a box. I knew too many of dad's friends that were 9 to 5ers, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. That's all they did. And they never traveled because they couldn't afford it. Their kids could not go to good schools because they couldn't afford it. There were so many things that they were restricted that I didn't want that. And I think a lot of times we're motivated by what we don't want more than what we just want. It's
Hmm.
not just our why, it's our why not. I
Hmm.
don't want that. I don't want to be restricted in my life. I want to have an enjoyable life. I want to give my kids that same thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was my why.